I let out a sigh of boredom and leaned back in my chair, idly playing with my hair as I looked around the empty club. It was quiet, almost eerily so. I always enjoyed entertaining a crowd, and without any guests to entertain, I couldn't help but feel a bit restless. I let out a huff of frustration, tapping my fingers against my cheek as my impatience grew. The renovations had been going on for weeks now, and it seemed like every day brought a new delay. I was growing increasingly restless, desperately longing for the club to reopen so I could perform for an audience again. I sat down at my vanity, pulling out my nail polish and supplies. I began the meticulous task of applying the first coat of polish, carefully and precisely making each stroke. The act of doing my nails was a soothing and familiar ritual, but even as I focused on the task at hand, my mind kept drifting back to the renovations and how much longer they would take to complete. As I continued to carefully polish my nails, my mind began to wander and I entertained the idea of taking a vacation. I imagined the warm sun on my skin, the feeling of sand between my toes as I walked along a secluded beach. A smile played at the corner of my lips as I pictured myself exploring a vibrant new city, trying delicious new foods, and experiencing the culture and nightlife. But then a thought popped into my mind. Who would watch over my club while I was gone? I couldn't just leave it unattended during the renovations. A million questions raced through my head as I considered the logistics. Who could I trust to keep an eye on things? Would everything run smoothly in my absence? I put down my nail polish and sighed, feeling a mixture of excitement and apprehension about the idea of taking a vacation while the club was still undergoing renovations. Decision made, I stood up and made my way out of the backstage area in search of my golden twin, Golden Fredina. I figured that if anyone could keep an eye on the club while I was gone, it would be her. I made my way out to the main area, keeping an eye out for any trace of my golden doppelganger. As I entered the storage closet, I immediately spotted Golden Fredina, rummaging through a pile of old props and decorations. I called out to her, "Hey, Golden Fredina, got a minute?" She looked up from the pile, a smile spreading across her face when she saw me. I explained my plan to take a much-needed vacation, and asked Golden Fredina if she would be willing to watch over the club in my absence. She nodded in agreement, understanding my need for some time away from the daily grind. We discussed the details of her responsibilities, and I made sure that she felt confident and comfortable handling them in my absence. Overall, I felt relieved knowing that Golden Fredina would be looking after the nightclub. With everything sorted out with Golden Fredina, I headed out of the nightclub and made my way to my car. I took one last look at the club, which was still a construction zone, and let out a deep sigh. I felt a mix of excitement and apprehension about my upcoming vacation, but I brushed aside my worries and focused on the freedom and relaxation that awaited me. I climbed into my car, started the engine, and headed home. The drive home gave me time to relax and mentally prepare for the trip ahead. While driving, I made a mental checklist of the things I needed to pack, the places I wanted to visit, and the experiences I was looking forward to. The anticipation began to build within me, and I couldn't wait to escape the monotony of the club for a while. As I pulled up to my house, a sense of relief washed over me. Home sweet home. I park my car in the driveway and make my way inside. The familiar surroundings and cozy atmosphere of my house instantly bring a sense of comfort and familiarity. I take a deep breath and start mentally making plans for my vacation, already feeling more relaxed with the thought of indulging in some much-needed leisure time. As I settled into my home, I got out my laptop and began planning my trip to New York City. I had always wanted to visit the city that never sleeps, and now seemed like the perfect opportunity. I spent hours researching the best attractions and activities to do in NYC, and made a list of restaurants and cafes to try while I was there. My excitement grew as I looked at pictures of the iconic skyline and imagined myself exploring the bustling streets of the city. I couldn't wait to pack my bags and set off on this urban adventure. Packing for my trip to New York City became a fun and exciting task. I started with the essentials: pajamas, swimsuits, and toiletries. I carefully laid out each item on my bed, making sure that I had everything I needed. As I packed, I imagined myself relaxing on the rooftop pool of my hotel, sipping a cocktail and taking in the stunning views of the city skyline. The thought of escaping the club and indulging in some self-care filled me with a sense of anticipation and contentment. I finished packing with a smile on my face, already daydreaming about the adventures that awaited me in the Big Apple. After packing the essentials, I couldn't forget to pack my favorite snacks. I made my way to the kitchen and grabbed my favorite treats: extra cheddar goldfish, chocolate chip cookies, chips, onion rings, and some fresh fruits. I wrapped the more fragile snacks in airtight containers to ensure they stayed fresh during the trip. Packing these delicacies along with me, I couldn't help but feel like a kid getting ready for an adventure. The thought of indulging in these treats while exploring the city added to the excitement of the trip. With my suitcase packed and my snacks ready, I made sure to pack my laptop to keep me entertained during the long journey. After giving my house one last glance, I picked up my bags and headed out the door. I made my way to the train station, the sense of excitement building with each step. I couldn't wait to step onto the train and begin my journey to New York City. The city that never sleeps awaited me, and I was ready to embrace all it had to offer. I hop into my car, suitcase in hand and snacks on the passenger seat. I buckle up, start the ignition, and pull out of the driveway. The train station is only a 10-minute drive away, and I make it there with ease. As I hop out of my car, I can see the train station in the distance, and the excitement of the journey ahead floods through me. With a smile on my face, I head into the train station to begin my adventure. The train ride to New York City awaited me, and I was ready to embrace it wholeheartedly. At the train station, I made my way over to the ticket booth to buy my train ticket. The journey to New York City would take several hours, but I was looking forward to the opportunity to see the different landscapes as I traveled from my hometown to the bustling city. The ticket attendant politely smiled as she helped me with the ticket purchase. With ticket in hand, I headed over to the departure platform and looked over the schedule for my train. I couldn't believe that my vacation was about to begin. With ticket in hand and a sense of anticipation in the air, I walked over to the platform and took a seat on one of the benches. I watched as the other passengers milled about, each with their own destination and journey in mind. The atmosphere was electric, and the sound of the trains coming and going added to the excitement. I couldn't wait to board the train and take my first steps towards my vacation in New York City. The train pulls into the platform, and I am immediately blown away by the sheer size and grandeur of it. The black steam locomotive, puffing out clouds of dark gray smoke, coupled with the dark gray passenger cars, creates a striking and powerful presence. I can feel my excitement growing as the thought of traveling on this incredible engine to my destination gets me energized. I smile to myself and gather my things, ready to embark on this unforgettable journey. The train comes to a stop with a loud whistle that breaks the silence of the platform. The doors open, revealing the cozy interiors of the cars and the friendly faces of the staff, waiting to greet and assist the passengers. I couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement wash over me as I stepped onto the train, ready to embark on this long-awaited journey. I take my designated seat and sink into its comfort. The plush cushioning and velvety softness envelope my body, making me feel like I'm sitting on a cloud. I let out a sigh of contentment, realizing how lucky I am to have this luxurious seat on my journey to New York. As the train begins to move and leave the platform, I look out the window and watch as the scenery starts to change, marking the beginning of my vacation. The train blows its whistle one more time and starts to move, sending chills down my spine as the excitement sets in. The gentle rocking motion of the train as it moves along the tracks only adds to the sense of anticipation. I sit back and relax, ready to let the journey unfold and savor the experience of traveling on this grand locomotive. Sitting comfortably in my plush seat, I gaze out the window to witness the stunning fields that the train passes through. Fields of tall grass sway gently in the breeze, while colorful fields of wildflowers stretch out as far as the eye can see. The picturesque scenery adds to the magic of the journey, and I find myself mesmerized by the beauty of nature. As the train continues its journey, I decide to whip out my phone and send a quick text to my boyfriend, Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. Though he's not with me physically, I can picture his cheeky smile and endearing personality as I type. I tell him about my long-awaited vacation and the exciting places I plan to visit in New York City. I express how much I miss him and send him a winky emoji to show my love. Putting my phone back in my pocket, I return my gaze to the stunning scenery outside the window. The train continued its journey, passing over soaring bridges and through quaint towns. The towns were bustling with activity and people going about their daily lives, while the fields were dotted with small houses and lush greenery. As I take in the changing scenery, I can't help but feel a sense of wonder and excitement. I'm filled with the thrill of adventure and the joy of discovering new places. I smile to myself as I prepare to explore the incredible city of New York. My eyes light up as the train crosses over a huge bridge, and the magnificent skyline of New York City comes into view. The iconic skyscrapers, the bustling streets below, and the sheer magnitude of the city take my breath away. I can feel my excitement growing with every passing second, knowing that my adventure in New York is just beginning. As the train crosses the bridge and the city skyline looms ahead, my mind drifts back to the weddings of my friends Bonfi and Chiku. Bonfi had recently tied the knot with Gogeta last week, while just last month, Chiku had exchanged vows with Vegeta. The memories of both weddings flood my mind, filling me with nostalgic joy. I smile to myself, thinking about the love and happiness shared by my friends as they began their journeys as newlyweds. As the train continues on its journey towards the bustling city, I can't help but think about my boyfriend Trunks and our future together. I hope that one day he will take our relationship to the next level and ask for my hand in marriage. The thought fills me with hope and excitement, and I imagine the beautiful wedding dress that I would wear and the special way he might propose. A feeling of overwhelming joy washes over me as I imagine myself in a gorgeous white wedding dress, walking down the aisle towards the man I love, Trunks. Tears of happiness fill my eyes as I envision the pure love and happiness that would fill the air at our wedding. The thought of being married to Trunks and spending the rest of my life with him brings a sense of contentment and excitement. I can't help but feel blessed and hopeful for our future together. As I wipe away my tears, I take a deep breath and prepare myself for the train's arrival at Grand Central Station. The excitement and anticipation build within me as I imagine the bustling city streets and endless possibilities that await me in the vibrant city of New York. I make sure that I have all my belongings gathered and ready to go as the train nears its final stop. The train's whistle pierces the air as it pulls into Grand Central Station, signaling our arrival in the heart of New York City. The city unfolds before me, with the towering skyscrapers and bustling crowds adding to the vibrant energy of the city. With a deep breath, I stand up from my seat and grab my belongings, ready to embark on this urban adventure and explore all that New York has to offer. With a renewed sense of energy, I step off the train and make my way through the Grand Central Station. The bustling atmosphere is intoxicating as people hurry about, going about their busy New York City lives. As I walk through the station, taking in the sights and sounds around me, I can't help but feel a sense of excitement and wonder at the endless possibilities that await me in this iconic city. As I walk out of Grand Central Station, the sights and sounds of New York City hit me like a wave. The city skyline towers above me, with the iconic skyscrapers filling my field of vision. Horns honking, people chatting, and the hustle and bustle of the city fill my ears. A wide smile spreads across my face as I take it all in, feeling overjoyed and excited to be in one of the most dynamic cities in the world. With a skip in my step, I walk down the street towards my hotel, eager to check in and start my vacation. The city streets are alive with activity, and I soak in the sights and sounds of New York. A sense of excitement fills me as I carry my luggage, ready to start exploring all the wonders this city has to offer. The hotel looms ahead, and I can feel the warmth and comfort it will provide, knowing that it will be my home away from home for the duration of my stay. As I step through the doors of the hotel, the cool air rushes over me, providing a welcome respite from the heat of the city streets. The lobby is tastefully decorated, creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. As I approach the reception desk, I feel the exhaustion of the journey lift away, replaced by a sense of contentment and excitement for the adventures that await me. I check in and receive my key card, anticipating the rest and relaxation that awaiting me in my hotel room. After checking in at the hotel, I excitedly follow the directions to my room, room 7, on the ground floor. As I make my way down the hall, I feel a sense of anticipation building within me, wondering what my room will be like and what adventures I'll have in the city that never sleeps. As I reach my room, I slide the keycard into the lock and open the door. eager to kick off my shoes and explore my temporary home away from home. As I push open the door to my hotel room and step inside, I let out a sigh of contentment. The room is cozy and well appointed, with a comfortable couch and a spacious closet. I take a few moments to take it all in, appreciating the tranquility of the room after the hustle and bustle of the city outside. With a satisfied smile, I sit down on the couch and take a moment to relax, taking in the peaceful atmosphere of the hotel room, feeling thankful that I have a cozy oasis to return to after a day of exploring the city. As I sit on the couch, taking a moment to rest and relax, my mind begins to wander towards what I should have for lunch. New York City is known for its diverse and delectable cuisine, and the possibilities seem endless. Should I try a traditional New York pizza, or perhaps a delicious hot dog from a street vendor? Maybe I should opt for a healthier option, like a sandwich from a local deli. The options are endless, and I find myself looking forward to indulging and trying something new. As I ponder my options for lunch, a memory pops into my mind. I had seen this incredible diner featured on the TV show Man vs. Food back at the club, and it had left a lasting impression on me. The food looked mouth-watering, and the sheer size of the sandwiches had me salivating. The name of the diner comes back to me, Cat's Deli. I realized that trying a meal at this highly rated spot would be a perfect way to experience some authentic New York cuisine and satisfy my rumbling stomach. My mouth is watering just thinking about the iconic Cat's Deli corned beef and pastrami sandwiches, bursting with flavors and overflowing with meat. The thought of sinking my teeth into those juicy sandwiches, paired with a side of crispy fries and tangy pickles, makes my stomach growl with anticipation. I decide that Cat's Deli will be the perfect spot for lunch, not only to satisfy my hunger, but also to indulge in a true New York culinary experience. With a newfound sense of purpose and excitement, I grab my backpack and head out of the hotel, ready to explore the city and find my way to Cat's Deli. As I walk towards the subway station, I can't help but feel a flutter of anticipation in my stomach, knowing that soon I will be indulging in one of the most delicious sandwiches this city has to offer. With each step, I can taste the flavor of the corned beef and pastrami sandwich, the smell of the spices and sauces wafting through my senses, drawing me closer and closer to my destination. As I ride the subway to the neighborhood where Cat's Deli is located, I can feel the anticipation building inside me. The train glides through the underground tunnels, carrying me closer and closer to my culinary destination. The hustle and bustle of the city fades away as I focus on the journey ahead, excited to experience Cat's Deli and the mouth-watering corned beef and pastrami sandwich that awaits me. As the subway comes to a halt, I quickly get off at the right stop and make my way towards the iconic diner. As I step out of the subway and onto the busy streets of New York, I quickly spot Cat's Deli just up ahead. The classic diner is bustling with activity, with customers lining up to order their delicious sandwiches and delicious fries. I make my way towards the restaurant, the smell of freshly cooked meat and spices growing stronger with each step. As I approach the counter, I can feel my excitement growing, knowing that I'm about to savor a true New York culinary treasure. As I step inside Cat's Deli, I am greeted by the classic diner atmosphere that I had seen in the TV show, Man vs. Food. The restaurant has a simple cafeteria-style setup, reminiscent of the establishment's origins back in 1888. I take a moment to soak it all in, appreciating the traditional charm and authenticity of the diner. The scent of freshly cooked meat and spices fills the air, and my mouth begins to water at the thought of indulging in their famed corned beef and pastrami sandwich. I step into the cafeteria-style line and approach the counter, where a selection of mouth-watering sandwiches lay waiting. The options are tempting, but I can't help but be drawn to the iconic corned beef and pastrami sandwich. I fill my plate with a generous serving of the sandwich, which is piled high with tender and juicy meat and a side of crispy French fries. As I glance at the tray, the irresistible sight and smell of the food have me eagerly anticipating my first bite. I make my way to my table, holding my tray of food with eager anticipation. I take a seat and look down at the plate in front of me. The corned beef and pastrami sandwich sits amidst a pile of crispy fries, their golden hue glistening under the diner's lights. The smell of the food wafts up to my nose, tantalizing my taste buds and heightening my excitement for the meal ahead. I pick up the sandwich and take a bite, savoring the explosion of flavors and textures in my mouth. The tender meat, the tangy sauce, and the crispy pickle all come together in a burst of flavor that makes my taste buds dance with pleasure. The satisfying crunch of the fries adds a perfect balance to the rich, hearty sandwich, making every bite a heavenly experience. The flavors and textures are simply divine, and I can't help but let out a satisfied moan with each mouthful. As I savor every bite of the delicious sandwich, I can't help but think about my boyfriend Trunks. Although he's not physically here with me, I wish he was enjoying this meal at my side. I imagine the look of delight on his face as he tastes the juicy, tender meat and crispy fries. I smile to myself, silently wishing we were sharing this culinary experience together. After finishing my meal at Cat's Deli, I feel satisfied and content, having experienced one of the most flavorful sandwiches in New York City. With a full stomach and a satisfied smile on my face, I head to the counter to pay for my meal. I leave a generous tip, appreciative of the authentic experience. I then make my way out of the diner and hop onto the city tram, ready to take me back to the area of the city where my hotel awaits. The tram ride is smooth and comfortable, transporting me through the bustling streets of the city I've just immersed myself in. As I arrive back at my hotel, my mind and stomach are filled with the wonderful experience of Cat's Deli. The images and flavors of the restaurant remain fresh in my mind, and I can still taste the delicious sandwich on my tongue. I make my way back to my room, unlocking the door and stepping inside. I take a deep breath and feel a sense of contentment, knowing that my hotel room will provide me with a comfortable and relaxing space to unwind after a day of exploring New York City. The thought of swimming in the hotel's pool sparks a sense of excitement within me. The image of the cool, refreshing water beckons, promising a moment of relaxation and fun. I imagine the sensation of the water caressing my skin, the ripples made by my movements as I swim, and the feeling of weightlessness as I float on the surface. The idea of taking a refreshing dip in the pool provides a perfect way to unwind after a day of exploring the city and indulging in delicious food. With a sense of excitement in my heart, I head to my luggage and pull out my swimsuit. As I change into it, the fabric clings to my body, and I feel a sense of anticipation building inside me. Once I'm changed, I grab a towel and head out into the hallway, making my way towards the entrance of the pool area. The thought of the cool, refreshing water awaiting me fuels my energy, and I can't wait to dive in and indulge in some aquatic relaxation. As I step into the pool area, my eyes widen with awe at the sight before me. The pool is massive, with a hot tub on one end and a mini mountain complete with a second swimming pool on top, creating a realistic and tropical retreat. The vibrant colors and the surrounding flora add a touch of paradise to the area, making me feel as if I've been transported to a secluded island. The combination of the two pools makes me eager to explore and enjoy the aquatic oasis that has been created before me. Without hesitation, I dive headfirst into the inviting water, feeling the cool liquid envelop my body as I sink beneath the surface. It's a refreshing and revitalizing sensation, and I feel my muscles relax as I emerge from the water and start swimming with graceful strokes. The sound of the water surrounding me and the feeling of weightlessness brings an instant sense of relaxation and tranquility. I take a few more laps before settling into the shallow end, floating on my back and enjoying the cool, soothing embrace of the water. After spending some time in the large pool, I decide to explore the other features of the pool area. I make my way over to the hot tub and step into the bubbling water, feeling the soothing warm jets massaging my muscles. The warmth of the water and the sound of the bubbles provide a comforting and therapeutic experience, and I feel completely relaxed as I sink deeper into the water. I close my eyes and let the heat soothe my body, feeling like I'm in a luxurious spa. After indulging in the soothing hot tub, I climb out and make my way over to the top swimming pool. The sight of the second pool atop the mini mountain captivates me, and I can't help but feel a sense of adventure and intrigue. As I approach the pool, I can see the cool water shimmering underneath the artificial sunlight, and the sight of a small slide leading into it adds a touch of excitement to the experience. Without hesitating, I quickly descend the slide, plunging into the refreshing water below. As I swim in the second pool, I feel a sense of boundless joy and excitement. The water is cool and refreshing, and I enjoy the feeling of the water rushing past me as I glide through it. The pool is designed with a tropical feel, with artificial sunlight mimicking the day and simulating the sound of a waterfall, adding to the escapist atmosphere. I spent an hour swimming laps and playing around the pool, feeling completely absorbed in the fun and relaxation it offers. After my invigorating swim, I decide it's time to head back to my hotel room and freshen up. I exit the pool area, feeling invigorated and energized from the aquatic exercise. The thought of a hot shower beckons, promising to wash away the chlorine and cleanse my skin. I make my way back to my room, eagerly anticipating the feeling of warm water cascading over my body and the sense of renewed freshness that a shower provides. As I enter the bathroom and turn on the shower, the sound of the water flowing fills the air. I step into the shower, feeling the hot water immediately begin to soothe my muscles and wash away the day's impurities. The water runs down my body, and the steam surrounds me, creating a comforting and peaceful environment. I take my time, relishing the feeling of the water cascading over me and the opportunity to relax and unwind. I use my favorite soaps and cleansers, feeling the tension and stress from the day melt away. After indulging in a refreshing shower, I dry off and get dressed, ready to explore another aspect of what this city has to offer. I exit the hotel and start walking down the street, feeling the energy of the city envelop me. As I walk, I spot a video game arcade down the street and feel an instant spark of curiosity. The prospect of spending some time in an arcade filled with classic games has me feeling excited, and I can't wait to discover what this arcade has in store for me. As I approach the arcade, I notice the neon lights and the array of characters adorning the entrance, beckoning me to step inside. The sounds of games beeping and ringing fill the air, along with the laughter and chatter of other patrons enjoying themselves. I can already feel a sense of nostalgia wash over me as I step through the doors and step into the arcade. The sight of the rows of games, ranging from classic arcade games like Pac-Man to more modern console games, has me eager to dive into the world of gaming and unleash my competitive spirit. I spend the next few hours exploring the arcade, testing my skills on a variety of games. I quickly become engrossed in the challenges and the quest to earn the highest score. I play games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Dance Dance Revolution, relishing in the thrill and excitement they provide. The energy and enthusiasm of the other patrons only add to the excitement, and I feel a sense of camaraderie as we all compete and root for each other. After spending time on the traditional arcade games, I noticed a section of the arcade dedicated to something new and exciting: VR games. The prospect of immersing myself in a virtual world and experiencing a game in a whole new way has me feeling intrigued and excited. I make my way over to the section and choose a VR game, strapping on the headset and immersing myself in a world of virtual reality. The game takes me to a futuristic environment where I can explore and interact with the virtual world in a completely unique and immersive way. I become completely engrossed in the experience, feeling like I'm truly a part of the game. After spending a few hours in the VR arcade, I start to feel a sense of hunger creeping up on me. I check the time and realize that it's getting close to dinner time, and my stomach starts to rumble in anticipation of a good meal. The thought of trying more of the city's famous cuisine excites me, and I can no longer resist the temptation to find a delicious restaurant to appease my hunger. As I exit the arcade, my stomach growling with hunger, I decide to head over to a restaurant called Sylvia's, which is located in Harlem. I know that Harlem is renowned for its soul food and cultural diversity, and I can't wait to sample the local flavors. As I make my way over, I feel the energy and vibrancy of the city all around me, and it only fuels my excitement for the culinary adventures that await. The recollection of Sylvia's being featured on Man vs. Food only heightens my anticipation of this dining experience. I know that their golden fried chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue ribs are renowned for their flavor and quality, and the thought of indulging in these delectable dishes has my mouth watering. The prospect of enjoying a memorable meal in a famous location only adds to the allure, and I approach Sylvia's with a sense of excitement and expectancy. Eager to reach Sylvia's and indulge in their famed dishes, I make my way to the nearest subway station and hop on the train. The subway ride is a smooth and efficient one, and in no time, I find myself stepping out into the vibrant streets of Harlem. The energy and culture of the neighborhood are palpable, and I feel an instant sense of excitement and curiosity as I look around and take in the diverse sights and sounds. After the swift subway ride, I find myself standing in the heart of Harlem, a bustling and vibrant neighborhood filled with life and energy. The area is a melting pot of cultures, with colorful buildings, lively music, and the sense of soul food and spices wafting through the air. As I walk down the street, I can't help but feel energized and inspired by the diverse and dynamic atmosphere of this iconic neighborhood. I can't wait to try Sylvia's famous dishes and further explore the treasures that Harlem has to offer. With determination and anticipation, I make my way down the street to Sylvia's. As I approach the restaurant, the smells of fried chicken and barbecue waft through the air, making my mouth water in anticipation. The sight of the lively and inviting restaurant entices me to enter, and I push open the door with a sense of excitement and hunger. I am instantly hit by the vibrant energy inside, with laughter and chatter filling the air and the sound of sizzling food coming from the kitchen. Once seated, I quickly perused the menu, my eyes scanning the selection of dishes. The golden fried chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue ribs immediately catch my attention, and the mouthwatering photographs only strengthen my desire to try these iconic dishes. Without hesitation, I place my order with the waitress, eagerly anticipating the moment my food arrives and I can indulge in the flavors that have made Sylvia's renowned. Before I know it, the waitress brings out my order of golden fried chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue ribs, the savory smells and sizzling sounds adding to the sensory pleasure. The sight of the crispy golden chicken, the fluffy waffles, and the glistening ribs adorned with spicy barbecue sauce has me salivating and eager to dig in. As I bite into the crispy chicken, the juicy meat and the spicy coating burst onto my tongue, sending waves of flavor through my mouth. The combination of the spiciness and savoriness is perfection, and I can't help but close my eyes for a moment to fully appreciate the explosion of taste. The chicken is cooked to perfection, with a crispy exterior and tender, juicy interior that melts in my mouth. I can't help but let out a satisfied moan, realizing why this dish is so famous and revered. After devouring the mouth-watering chicken, I turn my attention to the fluffy waffles, which are begging to be drenched in luscious chocolate syrup. I pour a generous amount of the rich chocolate syrup over the waffles, watching as it cascades over the golden squares, adding a sweet and indulgent touch to each bite. As I start to eat the syrup-covered waffles, their soft and fluffy interior provides a perfect canvas for the smooth and decadent chocolate flavor. With my palate still reeling from the savory chicken and sweet waffles, I take a bite of the spicy barbecue ribs, which are glistening with the bold and smoky sauce. The sight of the tender, juicy meat and the tantalizing sauce has me drooling in anticipation. The moment I bite into the rib, the explosion of flavors is almost overwhelming. The spiciness of the barbecue sauce complements the meaty texture of the ribs perfectly, creating a taste experience that is fiery and satisfying. I savor every bite, relishing in the delicious combination of flavors. The flavors of the golden fried chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue ribs blend together perfectly, creating a symphony of tastes that leave me fully satisfied and utterly blissful. The crispy, savory chicken, the fluffy, syrupy waffles, the tender, saucy ribs. The combination is a true culinary masterpiece that deserves the legendary reputation it has earned. I finish my meal feeling content and grateful for the opportunity to indulge in such delicious dishes. As I savor the last bites of the delicious meal, I can't help but feel a sense of appreciation for the incredible culinary experience I just had. The flavors and textures of the dishes were truly unforgettable, and I know that I'll be dreaming about the golden fried chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue ribs for days to come. Before leaving, I make sure to leave a glowing 1,000 stars rating and thank the owners and employees of Sylvia's for the wonderful service and amazing food. With a satisfied stomach and a heightened appreciation for the city's incredible cuisine, I bid farewell to Sylvia's and make my way back to the subway station. As I walk through the bustling streets of Harlem, I can't help but hum a happy tune, the memories of the delicious meal still lingering on my palate. Once I reach the subway station, I hop on the train and settle in for the ride back to the hotel, excited to rest my belly and reminisce on the day's culinary adventures. After the exciting day exploring the city and indulging in delectable cuisine, I finally return to my hotel room for the night. The exhaustion of the day starts to creep up on me, and I feel a sense of contentment wash over me as I step into the sanctuary of my room. I get ready for bed, eager to sink into the cozy sheets and rest my tired body after the day's adventures. Upon returning to my hotel room, I waste no time in preparing for bed. I head to my luggage and pull out a pair of comfortable pajamas, slipping them on and feeling the soothing fabric against my skin. The familiarity of my bedtime routine adds a sense of comfort, and I feel ready to sink into the cozy bed and let the exhaustion of the day wash over me as I drift off into a peaceful sleep. Just as I'm settling into bed, my phone rings loudly, jolting me out of my peaceful slumber. Confused and disoriented, I reach for the phone on the nightstand and see the name Golden Fredina flash on the screen. I answer the call, curious as to what this unexpected communication could be about. As I pick up the phone and hear Golden Fredina's voice on the other end, a wave of excitement washes over me. She explains that the renovations to the nightclub have been completed, and as the nightclub owner, I can't help but feel eager to see the finished result and experience the transformed venue for myself. After the call comes to an end, I contemplate my options. As much as I'm enjoying my time in the city, I know that business calls, and it's important to see the newly renovated nightclub in person. I decide to cut my stay in the city short and make plans to catch the train home in the morning, eager to return home and see the fruits of our labor at the nightclub. With a sense of contentment and anticipation, I slide under the covers and close my eyes. The events of the day replay in my mind, and I drift off to sleep with a smile on my face, excited for the adventures that lie ahead and grateful for the experiences I've had thus far. As the night envelops me, I let go of my thoughts and surrender to the peace of sleep, looking forward to the journey home and the new chapter that awaits me. In the realm of dreams, my subconscious weaves together visions of happiness and love. The prospect of marriage and a life filled with companionship fills my mind, and I find myself dreaming of my boyfriend getting down on one knee and presenting me with a beautiful ring. The image of us exchanging vows and promising a future together evokes a warm and hopeful feeling deep within my heart. In those moments of restful slumber, my dreams carry me away to visions of sharing the wonders of the city with Trunks one day. We stroll hand in hand down bustling streets, marveling at iconic landmarks and indulging in the rich culture that abounds around us. The thought of exploring this exciting city with him fills me with a sense of anticipation and joy, knowing that the adventures we will share together will only strengthen the bond between us. The gentle rays of the morning sun peeping through the curtains gradually rouse me from my peaceful slumber. As my mind slowly comes back to consciousness, I take a moment to gather my bearings and reflect on the vivid dreams of the night before. The images of marriage, proposal, and exploring the city with Trunks still linger in my mind, bringing a faint smile to my lips as I start the day. Feeling a hunger pang, I reach for the sandwich I had packed the night before, grateful to have a simple yet satisfying meal to kickstart my day. As I devour the sandwich, I begin packing up my belongings, making sure not to leave anything behind as I prepare for the journey home. With the last bite of the sandwich consumed, I let out a satisfied sigh, feeling fueled and energized for the day ahead. Packing up my bags, I gather my belongings and take one final look around the hotel room, making certain that I haven't left anything behind. As I exit the room, I feel a sense of satisfaction, the memories of the city and its charm still fresh in my mind, ready to be cherished and reminisced upon for years to come. As I make my way down to the hotel lobby, I approach the front desk and greet the receptionist with a smile. I explain that I need to check out and hand over my key card, feeling a pang of sadness as I bid farewell to the warm and comfortable surroundings of the hotel. The receptionist quickly processes my request, and within minutes, I am handed a receipt confirming my checkout. With my belongings packed and the checkout complete, I head towards the exit of the hotel, the prospect of returning home and resuming my life filled with both eagerness and nostalgia. As I pass through the doors and step out into the brightness of the morning sun, I take one final look back at the hotel with a sense of gratitude for the shelter it provided during my stay. With a sense of purpose, I begin my journey towards Grand Central Station, the iconic transportation hub at the heart of the city. The air is filled with the hustle and bustle of morning commuters, and I relish the energy that surrounds me. As I walk, the grandeur of the station comes into view, its elaborate architecture standing tall against the New York City skyline. As I cross the threshold of Grand Central Station, I am immediately struck by the hustle and bustle of travelers and commuters rushing about. The stunning architecture fills the vast space, and the sound of chatter and announcements fill the air. I make my way through the station, surrounded by the energy and excitement of people embarking on their journeys. The iconic clock and celestial ceiling serve as a reminder of the station's historic significance and its place as a beloved landmark in the city. With determination in my step, I approach the ticket counter at Grand Central Station. The sounds of conversations and announcements fill the air, blending with the clacking of the ticket machine as I request a ticket for the train that will take me back home. The attendant efficiently processes my request, and I pay for the ticket, feeling a sense of excitement and relief as I hold the ticket in my hand, symbolizing my imminent return home. With ticket in hand, I make my way towards the platform where my train will depart. The air is alive with anticipation, and I take in the sight of fellow travelers, all preparing to begin their respective journeys. The smell of coffee and pastries from nearby vendors wafts through the air, creating a familiar and comforting ambiance. I find a spot on the platform, making sure to keep an eye on the departure schedule to ensure I don't miss my train. As I stand on the platform, a familiar sight greets me as the same train that brought me to the city arrives at the station and comes to a halt. The sound of the whistle echoing through the air is like a welcoming beacon, signaling the beginning of my journey home. The doors slide open with a hiss, and I take a deep breath, ready to embark on the return trip and immerse myself in the memories of my time in the city. As I step onto the train, the familiarity of the surroundings greets me. I find my assigned seat and settle into the comfortable confines, feeling a sense of contentment wash over me as I know I'm on the final leg of my journey. Placing my bags in the overhead compartment, I take a moment to admire the view through the window, watching as the chaos of the city slowly fades away and the train sets course back home. The whistle sounds once more, piercing through the air as the train begins to move, setting off on its journey. I watch through the window as the station disappears from sight, gradually replaced by urban landscapes and eventually vast stretches of greenery and open fields. The rhythmic sound of the train on the tracks serves as a soothing lullaby, and I close my eyes, letting myself be lulled into a state of calm as the train takes me further and further away from the city and back to the familiarity of home. As the train traverses the countryside, I am treated to a picturesque view of the river glistening in the sunlight and the sprawling landscapes and fields that stretch out on either side of the tracks. The towns and villages that dot the route become mere blurs in my vision as the train speeds by, carrying me further and further from the city and closer to the comforts of home. The peaceful atmosphere and scenic views create a sense of tranquility, making this final leg of the journey a soothing and relaxing experience. In between enjoying the scenic views outside, I take out my smartphone and decide to send a few messages to my friends. I open the messaging app and compose separate messages to Golden, Fredina, Bonfi, Chiku, Fexa, and Marie. I update them on my journey and let them know that I'm on my way back home. As I hit the send button, I smile, knowing that I'll soon be reuniting with them and sharing my experiences from the city. With my friends updated on my journey, I switch gears and compose a message to my boyfriend Trunks. I let him know that I'm on my way home, telling him about the incredible time I had in the city and expressing my excitement to reunite with him. Knowing that he's eagerly awaiting my return, I hit the send button, feeling grateful to have such a supportive boyfriend who understands and shares in my love for travel and adventure. After sending the message to Trunks, I put my phone away and lean back in my seat, feeling contentment wash over me. The rhythmic motion of the train combined with the soothing hum of the engine creates a calming atmosphere. As the landscapes continue to whiz by outside, I close my eyes and allow myself to fully unwind and embrace the tranquility of the moment. The memories of the city and anticipation of returning home swirl through my thoughts, and I let them wash over me like a gentle wave. As the train continues its journey, the sound of the whistle breaks the peaceful tranquility once more. The echoing sound resonates through the landscape, drowning out the sounds of nature and serving as a reminder of the progress made in the journey. I open my eyes and look out the window at the passing scenery, taking in the beauty of the countryside and the towns that we pass by. The train cuts through the serene surroundings, its presence a constant reminder of the distance crossed and the distance yet to come. Time seems to pass in a blur as the train continues its journey. 2 hours slip by, and I find myself gradually growing restless, my mind wandering to the exciting adventures and new experiences that lie ahead. The view outside the train window, while still beautiful and serene, starts to lose its novelty, and I find myself shifting in my seat, eager to stretch my legs and reach my destination. Sense of relief, I hear the train whistle, signaling our arrival at the station near my hometown. Excitement surges through me, knowing that I'm finally close to reuniting with my friends and boyfriend. As the train comes to a halt, I begin to gather my belongings and make my way to the exit, ready to step off the train and embrace the familiarity of home. With bags in hand, I step off the train and inhale the crisp, familiar air of my hometown. The atmosphere is immediately different from the hustle and bustle of the city, and I revel in the sense of serenity that envelopes me. I make my way to the parking lot, finding my car waiting patiently for me. With a satisfied sigh, I load my bags into the trunk and hop into the driver's seat, ready to embark on the final leg of my journey home. As I sit behind the wheel, a sense of anticipation and familiarity washes over me. The roads feel like old friends, and I navigate the route effortlessly, my mind wandering to the warm embrace of my home and the people waiting for me. The journey home feels like a well-known dance, a comfortable routine that I've followed many times before. With each mile that passes, I know I'm one step closer to the people and place that hold my heart. After what seems like an eternity, yet no time at all, I finally pull into the familiar driveway of my house. The sight of the front door evokes a sense of nostalgia and contentment, and a smile spreads across my face. After parking the car, I gather my belongings and step out, feeling a profound sense of peace and gratitude wash over me as I am reunited with the place I call home. As I push open the door and enter my house, I am taken aback by the sight that greets me. Confetti in various shades of pink is scattered across the floor, and balloons in matching colors float in the air, creating a surreal and festive atmosphere. I stand there in surprise, feeling a mix of curiosity and confusion wash over me. What on earth is going on? As I turn my gaze towards the living room, my eyes widen in astonishment and disbelief. There, in the center of the room, stands Trunks, a warm smile on his face and a bouquet of vibrant roses clutched in his hands. He's down on one knee, looking incredibly handsome and earnest, and I can see a small velvet box in his other hand. A wave of realization washes over me, and I feel my heart pounding loudly in my chest. Emotions surge through me, tears brimming in my eyes. Is this truly happening? With bated breath and tears streaming down my face, I approach Trunks, feeling like I'm walking on clouds. The air between us is thick with anticipation, and I can feel the weight of his gaze on me. As I come to a stop in front of him, I can see the love and devotion in his eyes, and I can't help but smile through my tears. This moment feels like a dream, but I know it's all real, and I savor it with every fiber of my being. With trembling hands, I take the bouquet of roses from Trunks, their petals soft and velvety against my skin. As he reaches into his pocket and pulling out a small ring box, I feel my heart skip a beat. The box is adorned with intricate details, and I can already guess what lies inside. Tears continue to stream down my cheeks as I look at him, overcome with a mix of joy and disbelief at what's happening. With a confident yet tender smile, Trunks looks deep into my eyes and smoothly asks me the life-changing question that I've been dreaming of hearing for so long. Will you marry me? The words hang in the air, and my heart skips a beat. The entire room seems to hold its breath, waiting for my response. Emotions well up inside me, creating a beautiful chaos of joy and love. Without a second of hesitation, I respond, my voice filled with unwavering certainty and adoration. Yes, Trunks, I will marry you. As Trunks stands up, he pulls me close, the roses gently crushed between our bodies. In one smooth motion, he closes the distance between us and captures my lips in a gentle yet passionate kiss. Tears of joy and love continue to stream down my face as I wrap my arms around his neck, pulling him closer to me. The warmth of his embrace and the intoxicating taste of his lips create a moment of pure magic, sealing our love and commitment to each other forever. Still lost in the embrace of our first kiss as an engaged couple, I suddenly hear the sound of footsteps and the cheerful voices of my friends filling the room. As we gently break the kiss, I turn to see Golden Fredina, Marie, Bonfi, Chiku, and Fexa standing there, beaming with joy and pride. The sight warms my heart even further, and I can't help but smile at the love and support from my friends. With a sense of warmth and sincerity, Trunks turns to me and explains that my friends Golden Fredina, Bonfi, Chiku, Fexa, and Marie had been an integral part of planning and setting up the proposal. He confesses that he knew just how much I had longed for this moment, and that he sought their help to make sure it was perfect. Hearing this, my heart swells with love and appreciation for both Trunks and my friends. The fact that they cared so much and went through such effort to make my dream come true touches me deeply. After the excitement of the proposal and heartfelt celebration with my friends, I take a moment to unpack my belongings and place my swimsuits and pajamas in the laundry. I can't help but smile as I glance at the ring on my finger, a beautiful and tangible symbol of love and commitment. With a light heart, I head upstairs towards the bedroom, eager to finally spend some intimate time with my future husband Trunks. As I make my way up, anticipation and warmth fills my chest, and I can't wait to sink into his loving embrace and simply enjoy being with him. As I enter the bedroom, I find Trunks already lying on the bed, his arms outstretched to welcome me into his embrace. I crawl onto the bed and move into his open arms, feeling his warmth and strength surround me. We lie there, tangled in each other's embrace, feeling the love and contentment wash over us. His fingers gently trace featherlight patterns on my back, sending shivers down my spine, and I close my eyes, feeling perfectly content in this simple yet profound act of intimacy. As we remain cuddled in each other's arms, my mind drifts to thoughts of our upcoming wedding. I imagine myself walking down the aisle, wearing a beautiful white wedding dress that hugged my figure in all the right ways. Trunks would stand at the altar, looking unbelievably handsome in a tailored tuxedo that accentuated his toned physique. The vision fills me with warmth and excitement, and I can't wait to make this dream a reality with him.